Rights activist. We also have a man that I personally know and value very much, the Honorable Temba Mliswa, MP for Norton. And also, he has been mentioned before, a very special guest tonight is the President of the MDC, Nelson Chamisa. So, to you I say Masarira, and we appreciate very much your support. I'm not really too familiar with these things, but I do believe there's a sentence that goes, all protocols observed. I'll just throw that out there and hope it sticks. My name is Dirk Frey. Some of you know me personally, some of you know about me. And for others, it's one of those, yeah, I know that guy's face. Where have I seen it before? Somewhere. It's something I've had to get used to. Because back in 2014, I was just an ordinary citizen. I did not have nearly as much notoriety as today. Like most Zimbabweans, I minded my own business. I hoped and dreamed for a better future for our country. For myself, my friends and my family. But I was afraid to really do anything about it. I kept my beliefs to myself. I've gone to the president's office and told him to resign. I was afraid, but I was seized with a burning curiosity. Who is this madman? Is it for real? Is this person a myth? Is he actually doing it? So I went into town, armed only with a picture of him and his name, a journalist called Itai Dzamara. I went there the first day, fruitlessly. And that, without knowing, was actually my first lesson in activism, perseverance. You will not get anywhere unless you try and try again. So I tried again, and eventually I met a group of comrades in Africa Unity Square. I joined them and we talked for hours, and I found out that the things that they believed were the things that I believe. We were of the same mind. We were on the same page. We all wanted a better Zimbabwe, a better future. We all wanted our country to reach its potential. We wanted an end to suffering and to injustice. The difference between me and them was that I was afraid. I believed these things inside, but I didn't want to do anything about it. And I sat down with Itai after he got over his suspicions. His first reaction was, who's this white guy? Who sent him? What does he want? Eventually, he sat down and talked to me, and he told me in no uncertain terms, no, you live in this country, you're a citizen of this country, you belong to this country and this country belongs to you. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. And with those sort of words started what I call my education. It was a change of seasons. It changed me completely from who I was to who I am now. I was a coward. Itai used to point to some of us when we were a few weeks in and said, I know my comrades. I know the ones whose knees knock when the police come for us. I know the ones that are tough. I know the ones that are smart. But he taught me a very important lesson. And that is, courage lies in the overcoming of fear. And in very practical ways, under his leadership, I learned to overcome my fear. And I learned what I am capable of and what I can take. How many beatings I can endure and still go back for more. And so in a short period of 6 months, we became a band of brothers and sisters. Mostly brothers, because our sisters joined us in smaller numbers later. One of them is my sister Linda, who occupied with us in 2016 and spent nights in the park in very dangerous conditions. Most people remember Itai Dzamara for that slogan, Mugabe must go, and think of us in the activist grouping that he founded called Occupy Africa Unity Square. as people who were against. We were not and are not. We are not people who fight against. We are people who fought for a better Zimbabwe, for a brighter future for all of us, based on a set of shared principles and values. One of the most important, and this is why we remain strictly non-partisan, is the idea of the commune, of unity. That our diversity should not pit us against each other. And this is one of the most important things that we agreed on, that no one person or group inside or outside of Zimbabwe will solve our problems or our crises. That duty and responsibility lies with the people of Zimbabwe, together. That is the only genuine way that will reach a better tomorrow. Thank you. And so we decided, with some very risky actions and campaigns, to stand out as an example and show people this can be done. The thing that shackles you is your fear. We wanted to show people we have rights as enshrined in the Constitution. And therefore we can do this non-violently, legally, holding to the Constitution as our shield. These are our rights, we know our rights. But with those rights come the responsibility. It is us and it is now. We are the generation that have to fix this. Instead of blaming and looking to point fingers and say, but why didn't you? We need to look at each other and say, you and I, all of us, we can do this. So, when Itai was abducted, it dealt us a heavy blow. But we felt vindicated a year later when the things that we were working towards with Comrade Obey and Ya and others finally happened in 2016, when we had a broad coalition of Zimbabwean citizens coming together to fight for electoral reform. And we really felt that the spirit and the vision of Itai Dzamara is alive and strong today. Because that vision, that purpose that brought us together was a shared one and a selfless one. He told us, most people think, these people don't know what they're doing. He told us, comrades, one day I will no longer be with you. You have to carry on. And so for many years we tried to keep his values alive and his memory alive. Now, this year, we finally managed to do it in a more formal way, and we've decided to launch this trust. Not necessarily to teach people to go out and do crazy things, but in small ways to change our culture, our way of thinking, to active citizenship. Fix your neighborhood, fix your household, help each other. And a man I respect a lot, Bishop Anselmo Magaya, will tell you more about the vision and what we would like this trust to do. Thank you very much.